2,000 years ago, a slave, an emperor, and a banished millionaire all faced the same question. How do you live well when everything around you is falling apart? The slave had chains, the emperor had wars, the millionaire had exile. And all three arrived at the exact same answer. Not religion, not wealth, not power, a philosophy. One word, 4 letters, Stoicism. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to give you everything you need to understand it. And more importantly, how to use it starting today. Stoicism was born in Athens around 300 BC. A merchant named Zeno lost everything in a shipwreck. He washed up on shore with nothing, walked into a bookshop, started reading philosophy, and never stopped. He began teaching in a painted porch, a stoa in Greek. That's where the name comes from. But what exactly is Stoicism? At its core, Stoicism is built on one radical idea. You cannot control what happens to you. You can only control how you respond. That's it. That's the entire philosophy in one sentence. Everything else, every rule, every practice, every teaching, is just an expansion of that one idea. The Stoics believed that external events are neither good nor bad. They are neutral. What makes them good or bad is your judgment of them. Lose your job? Neutral event. Your reaction? That's what matters. Someone insults you? Neutral event. Whether it destroys your day? That's entirely your choice. Simple concept. Incredibly difficult to master. Which is why the greatest minds in history spent their entire lives practicing it. You need to know 3 names. Remember them. Epictetus. Born a slave, his master literally broke his leg to prove ownership. Epictetus looked up calmly and said, "You're going to break it." When it snapped, he didn't scream, because he already understood the one rule that would define his life forever. Some things are in our control, others are not. His body was never his. His mind always was. He was eventually freed, started a school, and his teachings influenced every Stoic who came after him. Seneca, the wealthiest man in Rome, advisor to Emperor Nero, exiled twice, nearly executed. He wrote hundreds of letters about how to live, not from comfort, but from the edge of survival. His most famous line, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Every worry you have right now, every fear, every dread. Seneca says most of it exists only in your mind, not in reality. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, ruler of 70 million people, the most powerful man who ever lived. And every single morning, he sat alone and wrote letters to himself, asking one question: am I being the person I want to be? His private journal was never meant to be published. We know it today as Meditations. It has never gone out of print in 2,000 years. The Stoics built their entire philosophy on 4 virtues. Master these 4, and you master life. Wisdom, the ability to see things clearly, to separate what matters from what doesn't, to make good decisions under pressure. Courage, not the absence of fear. The willingness to act despite it, to say what needs to be said, to do what needs to be done. Justice, treating others with fairness, not because the law demands it, because your character demands it. Temperance, self-control, knowing when enough is enough, resisting the pull of comfort, pleasure, and distraction. These 4 virtues aren't ancient concepts. They are the exact qualities every leader, every athlete, every person you admire has in abundance. The Stoics believed if you have these 4, you have everything. If you lack them, nothing else matters. But Stoicism isn't just philosophy. It's a daily practice. Here's what the Stoics actually did every single day. Morning journaling. Every morning, before the world gets to you, write 3 questions. What am I grateful for? Where did I fall short yesterday? What do I need to remember today? Marcus Aurelius did this for 19 years. It kept him sane while running an empire. Negative visualization. Once a day, imagine losing the things you love most. Your health, your relationships, your work. Not to be depressed, but to remember their value. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils. When you imagine losing something, you stop taking it for granted. The dichotomy of control. Every morning, divide your day into 2 lists. List 1, things I can control. My effort, my attitude, my words, my choices. List 2, things I cannot control. The weather, other people, the economy, the past. Focus entirely on list 1. Release everything on list 2. This single habit eliminates 80% of daily anxiety. Voluntary discomfort. Once a week, deliberately choose difficulty. Take a cold shower, skip a meal, walk instead of drive, not as punishment, as training. The Stoics believed comfort makes you weak. Small doses of discomfort keep you strong. If this resonates, here are the 3 books you need to read. In this order. First, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Start here. Every page is a reminder of what matters. Read 1 page every morning. Second, Letters from a Stoic by Seneca. 124 letters about how to actually live. Written 2,000 years ago, more relevant than anything published this year. Third, Enchiridion by Epictetus. The shortest and most practical Stoic text ever written. 53 paragraphs. You can read it in 1 hour. It will stay with you forever. These 3 books have outlasted every empire, every trend, and every self-help bestseller in history. There's a reason for that. You don't need to be an emperor to practice Stoicism. You don't need chains to understand Epictetus. You don't need exile to learn from Seneca. You just need 1 decision. Today, when something goes wrong, pause. Ask yourself 1 question. Is this in my control? If yes, act. If no, release it. That's it. That's 2,000 years of philosophy in 1 sentence. The slave, the emperor, and the millionaire all figured it out. So can you. If this changed how you think, subscribe. Next video. The man who survived slavery, exile, and execution, and still died with 0 regrets. Seneca is next.